I didn't know this at the time, but I had just taken off on my biggest and wildest adventure yet. But for you to understand how out of my comfort zone this trip was going to be, we need to go back to the beginning and that text message that started it all. Alright, so I've just been invited to fly down to Sun and Fun with my friend Francois, which is in Florida, a whopping 1,100 nautical miles away from my airport. Normally I'd be taking Foxtrot Charlie, Foxtrot Kilo, but Francois suggested we take his Cessna 182 since it's a lot faster and a lot roomier than the old Cherokee. There's only one problem. He wants me to be his co-pilot, but I've never actually sat in a 182, let alone piloted one. So that means we need to find some time for me to get familiar with that airplane. So I just got to my friend Francois's hangar, and yeah, I guess today's the day that I learned how to fly a 182. For all intents and purposes, Francois' Cessna 182 RG still falls under the category of a single engine piston aircraft. However, it is considered to be a complex aircraft because of the retractable gear and the variable pitch prop, two things my own Cherokee doesn't have.
Lift off. Stay right up, climb. Gear up. Flaps up.
If you want to master any airplane, it's important to know the numbers. Every model has different airspeed parameters that you must follow in order to be safe and get the most performance. Luckily, Francois is a very organized individual, so he sent me his airspeed and procedural cheat sheet. This gave me all the information I needed to operate his plane safely. After takeoff, I took over the controls for a bit to get a feel for them while we climbed to cruise altitude. Once in cruise, Francois gave me a rundown of his impressive avionics and how we would operate as a crew for our trip. After about an hour of flying, it was time to head back because it was getting pretty bumpy out there. So I just got back from my first ever flight in a 182, and I have to say, what a machine. Wow. But it flies pretty much like a big heavy 172, a lot heavier on the controls than what I'm used to, so that's a bit different. So 1 week out, getting excited.
I don't know if this thing's on. It's not on.
It is early. It's 6 a.m. Just got to the airport. It's gonna be my biggest trip, so I can't pretend like I'm like this is gonna be easy, and I'm not a little nervous about it. So I'm going to get the stuff I need for my plane. I need my push to talk button because he doesn't have one on the other side in his Cessna. A couple other knickknacks, and then off to his hangar. When I got to the hangar, Francois was just finalizing our flight plan and getting one last minute weather briefing from our weather service here in Canada. So all that was left for me to do was to load up the plane and install my cameras. Did I mention how much I dislike high-wing airplanes?
To Sun and Fun. Traffic Valleyfield, Skyline, Foxtrot, Sierra, Charlie Kilo, décolle, piste 06, départ vers le sud, Valleyfield. Let's go to Sun and Fun. Airspeed alive, jet the green, is 40, 50. Stop. Gear up. Stop.
The journey would take us first from Montreal to Albany in the state of New York so that we could clear customs and refuel. From there, we would do a quick sightseeing flight around New York City, then continue our journey south to Kingston, North Carolina for even more fuel. After that, the last leg would take us all the way to our destination of Lakeland, Florida Airport and the Sun and Fun Expo.
Terminal de Montréal, Skyline, Foxtrot, Sierra, Charlie Kilo.
Foxtrot Charlie Kilo, terminal bonjour, affiché dans l'altimètre 3013, question de vos intentions.
Foxtrot, Sierra, Charlie Kilo, on est à 1400 pieds pour 6500 pieds direct Albany.
Sierra Charlie Kilo, vous êtes en alors 6500 pieds direct Albany approuvé.
Sierra, Charlie Kilo.
And just like that, we were on our way.
Sierra Charlie Kilo, contactez le centre de Boston sur 120 décimal 35.
2035, Sierra Charlie Kilo, merci beaucoup, bonne journée. Boston Center Skyline, Charlie Foxtrot, Sierra Charlie Kilo.
Sierra Charlie Kilo, squawk 1330.
1330, Sierra Charlie Kilo.
And just like that, we're in the States.
Sierra Charlie Kilo, radar contact. 30 miles south of Montreal. Burlington altimeter 3014, stay altitude.
We're at 5,500, time being 6,500, Sierra Charlie Kilo.
Charlie Kilo, roger, space type aircraft and your destination.
That's Albany, New York, and on a heading of 193.
Sierra Charlie Kilo, I understand you're going to Albany and you're 182.
That's affirmative.
Charlie Kilo, thank you.
We have to be in communication all the time during the cross of the border, and I have to say the exact time and the exact position I crossed the border, which is Chamonix, New York, at 7:25, I said.
Ah, okay.
And we're like 7:30, which is okay, 5 minutes off.
The autopilot makes things easy.
Yeah, that's just awesome, this autopilot. For $7,000, you know,
it's worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah. Oh, you travel a lot for work with it, so it makes
Yeah.
sense.
When you do a single pilot IFR, you need that. That's a must.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, coming up on the mountains.
Yep. So I think that's white face to the left.
Oh.
Look at this.
You do see better with the high wings if you want to film the ground.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I haven't done any mountain flying in my short time as a pilot, but with the views we were getting that morning, I could definitely see the appeal. Turns out the East Coast isn't that flat after all, and I'll have to look into coming back here after this trip.
We've got a wind of 13 knots, 320 degrees. So quarter tailwind.
That's why we're going fast. 152.
Yeah, that's why we've got 152 ground speed.
A lot faster than the Cherokee.
And we'll be there in 28 minutes. And I said I would land at 8:25.
Yep.
Which is quite what we'll do. Albany approach Skyline, Charlie Foxtrot, Sierra Charlie Kilo, 6,500.
Charlie Foxtrot, Sierra Charlie Kilo, Albany approach, Albany altimeter 3018, and navigate to the right downwind to runway 1.
Sierra Charlie Kilo, right downwind, we will expect right downwind runway 1 at Albany, Sierra Charlie Kilo. So, we're gonna land on runway 1.
Yeah.
So, they're gonna ask us to maybe take taxiway Delta,
Yep.
exit on Delta, and then we'll call ground, and it's gonna be Alpha up to the custom. The custom is right here. It's the 70.
Comms. Visibility 10. 25,000 scattered. Temperature 2. Dew point -1. Altimeter 3019. ILS runway 01. Approaching you. Notice to air mission. Albany VOR test station out of service. Crane notice to air mission number 1234 not in effect. Please use standard pattern altitude. Albany class Charlie arrival frequencies are west of Albany 118.05,
Skywest
east of
3900,
Albany 132.82. Advise
Skywest
on initial
3900, contact Albany approach 118.05.
Approach Sierra Charlie Kilo. I'll start my descents to 1,500 feet.
Sierra Charlie Kilo, roger.
Look at this, 180 knots. That's nuts.
What's the fastest you've ever seen?
200 knots.
Damn.
Yeah, I had 45 knots tailwind.
Wow.
Look at the airport.
Yep. Albany, New York.
Sierra Charlie Kilo, navigate right downwind for runway 1.
Sierra Charlie Kilo, right downwind, runway 1.
Sierra Charlie Kilo, contact tower 119.5.
19.5, Sierra Charlie Kilo, thank you. Albany Tower, Skyline Charlie Foxtrot, Sierra Charlie Kilo is entering right downwind, runway 1.
Charlie Foxtrot, Sierra Charlie Kilo, Albany Tower, runway 1, clear to land, wind calm.
Sierra Charlie Kilo, clear to land runway 1.
That was easy. No one here.
Yeah.
Ground frequency set.
Ground, perfect.
You're gonna start getting used to having a co-pilot. You're never gonna want to let me go. Green. I have 3 down on the mirror.
So I don't have to talk to him anymore. I'm clear
Clear to
for
land.
runway 1. Clear down.
You're down. You're down.
500.
According to the Vesi, I'm a little bit high.
We're down a little.
400. 300. 100.
Nico is right there.
Yep. We're making it.
Charlie Foxtrot Sierra, Charlie Kilo, safe parking.
We're going to the custom.
Charlie Foxtrot Sierra, Charlie Kilo, turn left at Echo, taxi straight into the customs area, remain this frequency.
Sierra Charlie Kilo straight into the custom and will remain on this frequency. Custom should be right in front of us.
Correct.
Said 8:25 and we're 8:27.
Ah, 2 minutes. Good job. A professional pilot over here.
Hey, first leg.
Good job, buddy.
Good job, thank you.
This is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Not too difficult.
Yeah.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Passport, important.
Morning, how are you? Fine.
Anything to declare?
Nothing.
You guys can get off and have your passport.
Yeah.
All right, so we landed in Albany, New York. Cleared customs, wasn't so difficult, not any more difficult than doing so by car, so that was pretty awesome. And now we're just at Millionaire, and we're gonna fill up the plane, and hopefully it's not $1 million. Wow, what a nice FBO compared to what I've seen back home. But obviously makes sense, bigger airport and more money flying in and out. So it totally makes sense that the amenities would be a lot nicer. So fueling is done. I want to stop this video here, make you guys watch the second episode of our trip, where we're gonna fly through New York airspace and do the Hudson Corridor and do some sightseeing. So we'll see you in the next video. Fly safe.
Coming up on New York. New York, New York. It's crazy. I feel like in the States you could throw a rock and it hits an airport.
You are familiar with the VIP TFR going on around the Philadelphia Airport this time, correct?
My first actual comms of the trip. Yay!
In the US!
Runway 23, cleared land.
Clear to land.
Sierra Charlie Kilo.